Of course, I have the general idea here. Isolate the radical if needed. Counteract the root. Notice the first step is isolation. It's always isolation. Always, every time, everything we teach is isolation. Counteract the root, solve. If it's an even root, you need to check to make sure that both answers work. There's that wording down there, extraneous solutions. That's an answer you get that just doesn't make sense. It's like some of those problems where people die and there's a negative time. Does that make any sense? That's extraneous. Okay? So sometimes your answers don't make sense. So here's the first one, the easy one. Is the first part done? Is the radical isolated? Yes. So now you counteract the radical. What is opposite of cube rooting? Cubing is the opposite of cube rooting. So you cube both sides. Cubing is easy, especially when you're doing the right-hand side here. If you cube a cube root, what do you have left? What's in the radical? That's 2x plus 7. If you cube a 3, what do you get? 27. 2 steps, you're done. Subtract 7, divide by 2, what do you get? 10. Does it work? Plug it in. If you plug that 10 in, what do you get?
Yeah, it works.
You get 20 plus 7, right? And the cubic root of 27 is 3. So there's the easy one. I don't think A is actually too hard, but whatever it's in here, we'll do it. Square root of x plus 25 is 4. What's the opposite of square rooting? Squaring. Squaring, so we square both sides. 4 squared gives us what? 16. You square square root of x plus 25. What's your x value? 9. Now sometimes kids say, well, x can't be negative. They get this whole negatives and radicals in their head, but they get backwards. If you plug that negative 9 in, does it still work? You have a negative 9 plus 25, that's 16. What is square root of 16? So check out. Then we got to be one of those funny looking powers. We have a 5/2 power. Chandler, what's the opposite of a 5/2 power? 2/5, reciprocal powers. Raise both sides to the reciprocal, 2/5. I know we got fractions and we're scared to death of those things, but big deal. If you 2/5 of 5/2 power, what's left? Whatever's inside. Raise it to the first, x plus 3. You're probably going to have to use a calculator to figure out 2/5 power of 32. It's 4. All day long, it's 4. What's your x value? See, not so bad so far, is it? We're on a third slide, and half of you act like you know what you're doing. That's a good day. It doesn't get bad till the end. Getting closer, though. Isolate. Ever since day one, it's been isolation. Do not be the kid who raises everything to 3/2 power. F's, F's, F's. You're all getting F's. Isolation first, kids. What do you want to take away? 3. I believe that'll give you 4. You want to counteract here? 3/2 power. How do you counteract 3/2 power? 2/3 power. Be a funny looking answer, probably. Oh, I said it backwards, didn't I? That happens. Raise both sides at 3/2 power. What happens on the left-hand side? Cancels, becomes a 1, right? It becomes a first power. Anything with first power itself. According to your calculator, what's 4 to 3/2? Notice it said according to your calculator? Write down H and that's the problem. You guys are so reliant on something else to give you answers that you don't even question it. What root are you taking that for? Taking the square root of 4 and you're cubing it. What's the square root of 4? Plus or minus. It has been plus or minus since before your daddy got some bright idea in his head and created you. It will always be plus or minus, kids. Square root of 4 has always been plus or minus 2. Every time you take an even root, we've been over this, you have to include plus or minus. It is a plus or a negative 2 that has been cubed. And a positive or a negative 2 cubed is a positive or a negative what? 8. Doesn't matter which one. And you keep pushing those buttons and turn on that brain. Every time you have an even number down low, how many answers? The instant you press enter, you write down plus or minus. So x is either a negative 2 plus 2, or x is a negative 2 minus 2. Right? Oh, I wrote down 2 in there we go. So minus 2 or negative 8 minus 2. Negative 6 and negative 10. Yes, positive 6. Oh, somewhere else on the one. Oh, yeah, you can't just find one answer and do plus or minus, can you? Some kids will just solve it and they'll be like, oh, wait a second, I'm supposed to write plus or minus. It's about the instant that you evaluate the root. That's worthy of being checked. It really is. This thing had 2 answers. Right there on that first slide there in the general idea, doesn't it say to check both? It does. The introduction of the plus or minus symbol is what introduces this possibility of one of them being wrong. I don't think it happens in your notes, but my memory is not what it used to be. All right, so I'm going to go back to the original equation. Parentheses 6 plus 2. She's rooftop to the 2/3 power. I add 3, and what do I hope I get? Okay, that answer worked. Nothing wrong there. I just did a second entry and then I hit second INS and I overwrote. Oh, they both worked. So always check it. When you get 2 answers, you need to check because sometimes one of them just doesn't work. Throw it away and call it extraneous. All right, here's where it starts getting a little more difficult. It's not even that difficult. The problem is some of y'all still act like you do math in 6th grade. Still have that mentality. We have a square root function. Is it alone? So how do you fix it? You square it. You square the left, you square the right. All right, how do you square x plus 3? Right twice, yes sir, you learned something. Because he didn't always do that. Read it twice. Write it twice and do what? You ask yourself, WWJD. I don't know if you get this joke or not, but you don't ask yourself, WWJD. No, you don't get it? No, it's flow on the right hand side. 6x squared plus 6x plus 9. All right, so you got a whole bunch of stuff. You got x's, you got x squared, you got numbers. What do you want to do with it? Combine like terms. It doesn't have to be on one side. It has to be on one side. It has to be on one side. X squared is positive on the right, so I'm going to leave it on the right. 0 on the left. 6x minus 10x, negative 4x, and the 9's cancel. I guess you could do the quadratic formula if you want.
Negative.
6x minus 10x. 6x minus 10x, not negative 4x.
Oh, sure.
I'm shifting right
Oh, you're keeping it on that side.
because x squared is positive. Believe it or not, I'm a very positive person. Now, I put up with all scrap all day long. I grade your stuff and I don't kill myself. I'm an extremely positive person. Anyways, amendment number 1. What? Looking at both.
X.
What else? What are your 2 x values? Don't name me at the board.
0.
0, because you gently cover up, and
4.
4. They're worth checking, but I think they work on this one. Plug a 0 in this radical. What are you trying to take the square root of? 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Plug a 0 in there, you get 3, 2, right? So it works. Plug a 4 in, what are you trying to take the square root of? 49. That's 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. They were both good answers. They both worked. We're just checking. So there's that. We're not at peak difficulty yet. That's kind of intermediate because you have to FOIL. Which one of those do you think is harder, E or H? Or E or F? E is the hard one. F is like ridiculously simple. Let's do F first. How do you counteract square roots? You square the left, you square the right. I mean, it's literally, you just think about what makes the radicals the same. But it's 2x plus 5 equals x plus 7. And I'm not going to do anything more with that. Because I need the space. Bye. Bye. I don't care what F says. This is the hard one. Now, your instructions on the general idea say isolate a radical. Don't they? Is there a radical that's alone?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
The right one is. And counteract that radical. How do you counteract the square root? So you square the right. Then you square the right, you square the left. How do you square the root of x plus 6 minus 2? What's that, Sean? You write it twice. And then you do what?
Whatever Jesus would do.
Whatever Jesus would do. Unless it's the product of 2 things, you write it twice. That's how it works. This is the root of x plus 6 minus 2 times the root of x plus 6 minus 2. And it's going to end up equaling x minus 2. You FOIL, kids. You've got a root of x plus 6 times root of x plus 6. You do the FOIL technique. This is root of x plus 6 times root of x plus 6. Not 2 roots. Root 2 times root 2.
Root 4.
which is, has been. You multiply a radical by itself, what do you get? What's inside? That has never, somebody has said that to you at some point in your life. I swear they have, because I have. Ms. Cantrell would have. You guys are either over or under thinking. When you go here, then take away 2 of them. If that was next, you'd say minus 2x, right? So why not say minus 2 root x plus 6? You go here. How many more of those roots you taking away? There's 2 more of them. And you go there. That's 4. Still equal to x minus 2. Well, a couple sections back, you had section 6.1, which y'all thought was, or 6.2, which y'all thought was the hardest thing in the world, but stuff like that was in it for this. Are those like terms?
Yes.
How many of them are there? Negative 4 of them. Negative 4 roots of an x plus 6. What else we got over here? We have an x plus 6 and a 4, plus an x plus a 10, and that's still equal to x minus 2. All right, so now we have another radical. We went from 2 radicals to 1. Isolate. So I guess we should subtract an x from both sides. That's going on. We should probably take away 10 from negative 2. Negative 12. Here's your radical isolated. Don't look at me, look at the radical.
No.
There's still a big fat tire and stuff. Negative 4 there. Divide it out. So negative 12 divided by negative 4, I believe, is 3. Oh, finally, something easy. What do you do both sides? All right. X plus 6 is 9. And my x value is 3. Oh, wasn't so bad, was it?
Why not do that last time? Only the last time, I almost before that.
Well, Ty. Well, if that's hard to you kids, that tells you don't go the academic route.
But I gotta do it for at least 10 more years.
Yeah, but next year you can take bridge. Anyways, jump to the 6th slide, solve the system of radicals. So we were tasked with solving that thing for both x and y. This is the elimination method, kids. No, I heard her right. So Christina, tell us what to do.
Oh. Um.
Imagine it said 3x plus 5y equals 31 and 5x minus 5y equals negative 15. Add them. If you add both equations together, what happens to those roots of y's? They cancel. Add them. You'd have 3 roots of x and 5 roots of x, which makes how many roots of x? 8 of them. You'd have no roots of y. 31 plus negative 15. What? Number 16. Are we alone yet? No. Divided by 8. So root of x is 2. Square. Now you have x. How do you get y? Plug it back in. Plug it back in. I like top version. Just 3 root 4 plus 5 root y is 31. What is 3 roots of 4? 6. You can take that away from 31 and get 25 maybe? What do you divide by? What's y going to do? Okay. Counteract squaring by square rooting by squaring. Y is 25. And you can check and see if the answers make sense. Put your 4 there, that makes it 6. Put your 25 there, it's 5 times 5 is 25. 6 and 25 makes 21. Yeah, the answers make sense. We only have one more. It's a tough one. Oh, it's just a word problem.
Yeah.
I suppose you want to do the word problem. My guess is G was actually harder than this one, but who else? Burning candle's radius of R inches and was initially height 0, h 0 inches tall. At 10 minutes, the candle was reduced to h inches. These quantities are related by the following formula. Pi is just because I couldn't write out the pi symbol. The measure I was using didn't have the pi symbol at the time. Anyways, what's your goal here? How long will it take for the entire candle to burn if its radius is 0.875 inches, its initial height is 6.5 inches, and K is 0.04? Well, this is easy. What are you going to do with R, H, and K? You're going to plug them in, aren't you? So R gets to be what? 0.875. That must equal the square root. There's K. What do you replace it with? 0.04. Do you know T?
No.
Nope. That's the goal. And that's sitting over pi times initial height minus height. They don't give us that, do they? Yeah, they do. Minus 0. Why are you saying 0?
Because that's the height we're trying to get to.
Candle burns. There's no candle left. None. No candle left. Well, that's actually not too big a part of the problem to solve. How do you counteract the square root? Square root. You have 0.875 squared. Got to release free up 0.04 T over 6.5 pi. I'm going to use all the calculator because you can. All the way down. 6.5 pi because this is 6.5 times 5. Counteract the division through what? How do you counteract the division of 6.5 pi? Multiply. So multiply the left and right by 6.5 pi. That would be equal to 0.04 T. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Divide both sides by 104. Which, at that point in life, you could go to a calculator if you had one. I'm just going to pretend I don't. And I'm going to stop there. Whatever that ends up being is your time. How long it takes for that candle to burn down. But anyways, your bell's about to ring. And you need homework. It's not my fault, yours. It's up to your side. It's not my fault you look online.
Yeah. You literally I didn't take a video for this. Not like everybody's watching anyway.
On 6.4?
Huh?
On 6.4?
Whatever I need.
6.4 had a video.
No, I didn't see Burlington, but it was good.
6-3 I did not post a video on.
I know.
Didn't get much snow, but.